King describes Charlie tapping into something darker in himself. He thinks about killing that soldier who cut him.
Yeah.
It's chilling.
It shows how Empis is changing him, making him tougher, but also capable of, well, real violence.
The physical changes, the hair and eyes, they don't really help him fight. But mentally, emotionally, he's operating under pressure that's almost unimaginable.
Welcome to Witter. Who Has Time to Read? The podcast that brings deep dives for busy minds. Listen to AI hosts Jane and Dane and get ready to unpack the world's most captivating books in just a fraction of the time. Whether commuting, working out, or just squeezing in a quick break, we deliver key insights, thought-provoking themes, and takeaways you can carry into your day. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Plus, use our links in the description to purchase this book. Your support helps us bring more engaging book discussions to you. Listen and follow us wherever you get your podcasts. Who has time to read? You do, with Witter.
Welcome to Witter Deep Dives for Busy Minds. We take on the topics you need to know about and drill down fast.
Yep, getting right to it.
Today, we're opening the covers on Stephen King's novel, Fairy Tale.
We have definitely sifted through the pages, the notes, all of it, to find those core insights hiding inside.
And, what if the house down the street, the creepy one, maybe the one you kind of avoid, what if that house held the secret not just to, say, hidden gold, but to a whole other world? And not some sweet, gentle place, from a kid's book, but one that's actually packed with these ancient curses, really terrifying creatures, and just the echoes of forgotten royalty and decay?
That's such a great hook. King really nails that setup.
Doesn't he?
Yeah. And especially now, I think. Life can feel so complex, maybe overwhelming sometimes. So this idea of secret passages or suddenly having these huge unexpected burdens land on you, it really resonates.
It does.
This book just explores that line so well, where everyday life bumps right up against something truly extraordinary. And what happens when basically the weight of another world falls onto this kid who feels, well, pretty ordinary.
So let's dive in then. The story focuses on Charlie Reed. He is a teenager living in this town called Century's Rest.
Right.
But Charlie's not exactly your average teenager. He's already caring for his father, who's recovering from alcoholism after his wife, Charlie's mom, died.
Yeah, that backstory is crucial. And Charlie's life takes this huge turn when he starts doing chores, basically, for his neighbor, this reclusive elderly guy, Mr. Bowditch.
And that's the moment. That's where the ordinary cracks open, right?
Exactly. On Bowditch's property, Charlie finds this secret. A well. But it's more than a well, it's a passage. A passage to this other world. Mysterious and, this is key, dangerous.
Yeah.
King calls it Empis.
And Charlie just gets irrevocably pulled into this place. Its history, its big struggle against this really dark, corrupt ruler they call Flight Killer.
It's such an interesting mix, the way King does it.
Totally. He starts us off so firmly in this gritty, realistic world. You've got the addiction struggles, the physical stuff with Bowditch's injury, just everyday life problems.
Yeah, poverty, loneliness.
Right. And then almost sneakily, he just leads you down this path into a fully fleshed out, often really horrifying, dark fantasy realm.
It feels very much like classic King in that way, grounding you so deeply in the character and the place first. Then he opens the door to the crazy stuff.
Yeah, that signature voice, it's definitely there.
Absolutely. And even though he's clearly playing with classic fairy tale structures, it's all filtered through his unique and often pretty brutal viewpoint.
Oh, yeah. It's definitely not a simple kid's story. Far from it.
Not at all.
So thinking about the source material, what are the big themes, the big questions that this deep dive really brings out from Fairy Tale?
Well, there's a deep look at good and evil, not just, good guys versus bad guys in Fantasyland, but how it plays out in personal choices in both worlds. There's a constant struggle, too, of balancing your own responsibilities with these tasks that just seem impossible. What does it mean to be a hero? Or this promised prince, even, when you still feel like the kid who used to, check his dad's breath for gin.
Right, that contrast.
Yeah. And then you've got the whole idea of curses.
Yeah.
Literal ones in Empis, this magical decay, but also metaphorical ones. Addiction, decline, things falling apart in our world, too. And finally, I'd say the burden that comes with knowledge, with legacy, is often not a gift, it's heavy.
Let's unpack that caregiving theme first, because that really is the foundation for Charlie, isn't it? Right from page 1.
Absolutely. His dad struggled with alcoholism after his wife died. King gives us the raw details. You really see Charlie stepping into that role, cleaning, cooking, just trying to keep things together.
You feel the weight of it.
You do.
Yeah.
And that low point for his dad, that sick and tired of being sick and tired moment, finding AA, getting Lindy Franklin as a sponsor.
Yeah.
That's such a critical turning point for the family.
Yeah, and his dad does turn things around, gets a job, stays sober, works hard, but that whole period, it just fundamentally shapes Charlie.
No question. It leaves him with this kind of internal complex, this feeling that maybe his current better life is some kind of payback for what they went through.
Which is such a heavy thought for a kid.
It really is. And it feeds directly into how he approaches Mr. Bowditch, doesn't it?
Yeah. Finds him injured, calls the ambulance, and then just steps up, takes on this daily caregiving, and it's not easy stuff.
No, the sources detail it pretty clearly. Managing meds, including OxyContin, which is serious stuff, helping with physical therapy, basic hygiene.
Even the visiting nurse, Melissa, she kind of notes how capable Charlie is, surprisingly so, and how frail Bowditch actually is. It shows Charlie's not just like mowing the lawn, he's providing real essential care.
And the initial reason he even takes a job. It's the dog, right? Radar.
Oh, Radar, yeah. Bowditch's love for that old German Shepherd, that's the first real connection Charlie makes. The first glimpse behind the grumpy old man facade.
And Radar becomes Charlie's companion then. In both worlds, really. Her own aging, the difficulty with stairs later on, that adds another layer to Charlie's caregiving load too.
It's central. And this commitment, it actually leads him to make a pretty big sacrifice. He quits baseball.
Yeah, and he was good. Like winning games, maybe he had a shot at Allstate. Giving that up is huge for a high school kid.
The talk with his dad about it is tough, but Mr. Bowditch's reaction when he finds out, it's kind of amazing, furious.
Are you flat out balls to the wall crazy? King just nails that kind of reaction.
He really does. But then Bowditch admits he read the Skirk pages, that he would have come to see him play. It just flips your whole perspective on the old guy.
Totally. Adds that hidden depth, just like the house hides its secrets. And it connects back to something Lindy, the AA sponsor, points out.
What's that?
She suggests Charlie might have this caretaker mentality developed from his dad's drinking days. Like he's almost programmed to take on burdens.
Huh. That makes sense. Maybe he sees it as his job or
even penance, yeah. It's a quiet observation in the book. But it says a lot about how those early family struggles linger.
So you've got this incredibly detailed, grounded world, centuries rest. King makes it feel so real, specific sounds, landmarks, the contrast between the normal houses and Bowditch's psycho house Victorian.
Utterly real. And the transition point, the way into the other world, it's through something so mundane. Creepy maybe, but mundane. A locked shed, weird noises, a well-hidden under junk.
Yeah, it's not some grand portal. It's just there, behind the everyday.
And you go down those steps, 185 spiral steps, into darkness. That's the real departure. No going back, really.
And when you emerge into Empus, wow, from a world-building angle, it's fascinating. Everything is just off.
Subtly at first, maybe, then bam, 2 moons, stars you don't recognize. The air feels weirdly invigorating, but everything looks like it's falling apart.
Right. There's beauty, like that huge field of red poppies, just gorgeous. But it's right next to crumbling cities, twisted buildings, this overwhelming sense of ruin.
And the dangers are not subtle. They're huge, fantastical. Giant wolves, Hana the giantess, night soldiers, flight killer. The place itself, the people, they're literally cursed. Decaying, melting, turning gray. It's a dying world.
This is where King just dives headfirst into fairy tale archetypes, right? But he twists them, makes them dark, unsettling.
Oh, yeah. Charlie himself keeps thinking of Rumpelstiltskin, Jack and the Beanstalk, Goldilocks.
He does.
And the characters fit those molds, but warped. Dora, the old woman in the shoe, she's there, but her shoe house is decaying. Leah's like the princess or the goose girl.
But she can barely speak because of this horrible scar. Communicates through her horse, Falada, or later the Snab.
Exactly. Eldon, the brother with the clubfoot, he becomes the monster king, flight killer. Woody and Claudia are exiled royalty, kind of wise guides in hiding. Red Molly, the giant.
It's all there, but subverted. The promised prince isn't born royal, it's Charlie. Just a kid from our world who steps up.
Right, through his choices, his actions, not bloodline. And the magical kingdoms, it's diseased. Horrifying, often. The fairy tale is, less grim, more grotesque king.
And that prophecy element hangs over him, too. This idea of a prince whose appearance changes hair, eyes.
Which does happen to Charlie, these weird, uncontrolled shifts.
Yeah.
He feels it, too, like something else is driving him sometimes. Woody calls him young prince in a dream. Claudia calls him Prince Charlie. It hints at destiny, even if Charlie's just trying to survive.
Speaking of survival, his time in Deep Malin, that prison, that's where Charlie's transformation really gets brutal.
Oh, absolutely. The sources paint a grim picture. Awful conditions, these force fights in the Fair One.
It's pure survival mode. He has to learn fast, that one day at a time idea. It's not just AA talk anymore, it's how he lives.
He learns tactics from other prisoners, figures out weaknesses, watches people fail. It's harsh. That little note about the escape route smuggled to him, that's like the only light in that whole dark place.
The escape itself is pure chaos. The explosion, the desperate run.
Finding Woody, Claudia, Leah, and Falada, the talking horse.
Right. And then immediately, that brutal fight outside with Red Molly.
And this is where he uses the gun. Bowditch is .45. It's visceral. King describes Charlie tapping into something darker in himself. He thinks about killing that soldier who cut him.
Yeah.
It's chilling.
It shows how Empis is changing him, making him tougher, but also capable of, well, real violence.
The physical changes, the hair and eyes, they don't really help him fight. But mentally, emotionally, he's operating under pressure that's almost unimaginable, making life or death calls.
And it all leads towards hunting down Flight Killer. Following his tracks to the dark well, into that stench, those weird mushrooms.
The final confrontation, it's terrifying. King's description of Elvin's final form.
Yeah.
Half man, half tentacles. That hanging sag. Pure nightmare fuel.
It's not just fighting a monster, it's confronting what this curse, this decay actually does to someone. To a prince, no less.
And woven through all this fantasy drama is the very real theme of legacy and choice, like Mr. Bowditch's gold.
Right. It's not just treasure, it's a burden. Charlie finds a ton of it, gets paid initially, but then what? What do you do with barrels of gold pellets from another dimension?
Bowditch literally calls it a burden, not a gift. He warns Charlie, mentions his trading partner got murdered over it. There's danger attached.
And Bowditch has his own baggage. His regrets about his time in Empis. Coming back young, but basically running away with the gold when things got bad. Not staying to help.
He sees himself as cowardly, like Jack just grabbing the loot and running down the beanstalk. He missed his chance to be heroic.
Leah represents legacy and choice, too, in a different way. Her absolute refusal to believe Flight Killer is her brother, even with the evidence.
Yeah, that fierce pride. Her scarred mouth from trying to speak out. Her whole posture, back straight, resolute. Its defiance is a choice.
And ultimately, it comes down to Charlie. Does he take on this legacy, this burden? He chooses to fight. He chooses to go after Flight Killer.
And the burden doesn't just disappear when he comes back. He decides to return later, even brings his dad into the secret. Empis stays with him. It's part of his life now.
Okay, so if we have to pick one standout moment, one thing that really encapsulates the heart of it all.
Ooh, tough one. There are so many striking scenes.
For me, I think it has to be Charlie's return home after everything in Empis, the reunion with his father.
Yeah, that's powerful.
After all the crazy fantasy, the horror, the fighting, just the raw, simple human emotion of that moment. His dad can barely believe it's him, stumbling, just overwhelmed.
And the detail about them embracing over radar. The dog that started it all, that connected Charlie and Bowditch and became Charlie's rock, it brings everything together.
It really does. It grounds the whole epic journey in that core relationship. And that line his dad says, Charlie, thank God I thought you were dead. We all thought that you were.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Simple, but it just hits you. All that otherworldly adventure crashes back down into real-world fear and love and relief.
Exactly. It anchors everything.
Yeah, what makes that scene work so well is how it smashes the fantasy right up against the real consequences.
Mm-hmm.
His dad stayed sober, people missed him terribly, he's back, he's changed fundamentally, but he's home.
And it shows Empis isn't just like a dream he leaves behind. Its effects linger. They integrate into his life, especially when his dad later sees the gold, that weird baby light it gives off.
Right. The worlds bleed into each other.
So wrapping up, the takeaway vibe from Fairy Tale, it leaves you feeling like the extraordinary is maybe closer than we think. Just behind a normal-looking door, maybe. But finding it, that comes with a real cost, real responsibility.
Definitely. It feels like both Vintage King, that deep character focus, and also this dark modern fairy tale. Mm-hmm. It reminds you that courage pops up in unlikely people. Ordinary kids can be heroes, and some burdens, once you pick them up, They stick with you.
It kind of lingers, doesn't it? Like maybe the faint smell of old dust mixed with something adventurous, or the sound of a bridge humming, but maybe with butterfly wings rustling underneath the sky with 2 moons.
That's a great way to put it. And thinking about Charlie finding that, wow, that passage to this whole other world of challenges, it makes you wonder, doesn't it? What unexpected wells or hidden paths might be lurking in our own lives, or in the lives of people around us, leading to stuff we never imagined.
It's a provocative thought. Well, who has time to read? You do, with Witter. Thanks so much for joining us on this deep dive into Stephen King's fairy tale.
We genuinely love hearing what resonated with you all from these talks. Click on all our links in the description that connects you to everything, including our socials on Instagram, Threads, and Blue Sky. Let us know your thoughts.
Yeah, please do. And don't forget to sign up for our newsletter using the link in the show description. That way you stay updated on all our latest deep dives. See you next time.